from Gulf City, and I'm so tired I just think I might... Oh. Well, hello. Now, I wasn't sure. I thought I was alone. I was gonna do some crafting in my craft room. But, guess since y'all are here, I could read you a little story if you like. Now, I just came from Gulch City. Have y'all ever heard of that? No? Well, Gulch City, there's some adventures that are to be had there. There's a guy called Deputy Dan. Now, I'm a sheriff of some other parts just a little ways away from Gulch City, and I became good friends with Deputy Dan. And as a matter of fact, I carry this book with me at all times. It's my little read-along while I'm riding along out of Gulch City. So, it's called Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers by Joseph Rosenbloom, illustrated by Tim Raglin. Now, I hope y'all enjoy a good story, because I'm about to read this. Hope you come to join. I'm going to sit right here in this chair and read. Yeah? You want to come along and hear? Now, it's a tale of some treachery, some smarts, and some amazing deputy called Dan, who I get to call my friend. Now, I'm going to pull y'all in. You guys better be quiet. I don't know who might have followed me from Gulch City. You see, this book's about bank robbers, and I'm not sure if they got away or not. Well, howdy! Gotta fix my sheriff hat there. Now, I didn't really introduce myself. My name's Slimy Sam, but I kind of like being called Super Awesome Sam, but it hasn't quite caught on yet, but maybe you could pass it along. Anyway, we're gonna read Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers. I know I don't look very clean-shaven or anything. The ride back from Gulch City is a long one and a dusty one, and it started raining too. Poor Nelson, my horsey, he could barely keep up. He was so tired. Thank goodness we made it today. He's having a nap back in the stables while I read Deputy Dan and then might do some crafting, I'm not sure. He's a pretty good horsey. Anyway, enough about my horsey Nelson. He is pretty great, but we'll hear more adventures about him, I'm sure, later. Now, today we're going to read, it's an easy chapter book. Sometimes I don't feel like reading a big chapter book, and that's okay. So we're going to read this little chapter book. Is called Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers. Now, as you know, I am friends with Dan, so buckle up. It's gonna be a wild ride. I'll turn it around because there's some pictures too. Chapter 1. This is Dan. Well, obviously he looks different in real life. That's an animated drawing, but they didn't want it to be a real-life book. I don't know why. Chapter 1. I live in Gulch City. Hey, that's where I just came from. Gulch City is a peaceful place. My job is to keep it that way. I'm the new deputy sheriff. My name is Dan. Hi, Dan. It's Monday, June 1st. It's hot. I'm sitting in Sheriff Digby's office. Sheriff is my boss. We're having milk and cookies. We hear a knock. Who's that? Sheriff Digby asked me. I say I don't know. I hear another knock. Answer the door, said Sheriff Digby. It could be important. I always follow orders. I go to the door and say, hello, door. No, no, said Sheriff Digby. I didn't mean talk to the door. I meant open the door. Oh, sure thing, boss. I open the door. Elmer Stubbs rushes in. He owns the bank. I smell trouble, says Sheriff Digby. I sniff. I don't smell anything, I say. No, no, said Sheriff Digby. I didn't mean I smelled something. I mean I could feel trouble was coming. Elmer Stubbs is out of breath. He waves his arms. The bank's been robbed, he shouts. I knew it, said Sheriff Digby. Big trouble. Elmer Stubbs sobs. The robbers took all our money. The bank safe's empty. Now that sounds like a problem. Which way did the robbers go? Said Sheriff Digby. Elmer Stubbs points to the hill outside of town. They went that way. I will ride to the hill, said Sheriff Digby. Deputy Dan, you hop over to the bank. Check the bank for clues. You want me to hop over to the bank? You want me to check the bank for clues? Anything you say, boss. I started out for the bank. I hop all the way. It's hard work unless you're a kangaroo or a bunny rabbit. Elmer Stubbs is back at the bank. He's looking at the empty safe. There are tears in his eyes. I question him. Did you see the bank robbers, I ask. He hopped over to the bank. Silly Dan. He meant ride a horse or something to the bank, but he actually hopped. That would take a while. Yes, he tells me. There were 4 of them. I couldn't see their faces. They wore masks. I write in my notebook, 4 masked men. Anything more, I ask? Yes, he says, they were filthy. They needed some baths. I write in my notebook, dirty crooks. Elmer Stubbs shows me the note. One of them handed me this, he said. I read the note. What does SGEG mean, I said. I don't know. Elmer Stubbs didn't know either. Do you want to check the bank for clues, he said. I was just going to, I say. The sign says, give us all your money or else. Signed those people. We don't know who those people are yet. I take a crayon from my pocket and I check the floor. I check the walls. I check the ceiling. I check the furniture. I even check Elmer Stubbs. He says it tickles. I do not find a single clue. He put check marks on all of them. I'm starting to think my friend Dan isn't a very good deputy. I think he was supposed to look, not check mark everything, but I don't know. Maybe he's just a different type of sheriff. It's Tuesday. This is chapter 2. It's Tuesday, June 2nd. It's cloudy outside. I'm sitting in my boss's office. Elmer Stubbs comes in. Did you catch the bank robbers, he says to Sheriff Digby. No, said Sheriff Digby. I rode the hills after the robbers, but they got away. The stagecoach just brought new money for the bank, Elmer Stubbs tells us. I'm worried about the bank robbers. What if they come back? I'll pay you a reward of $1,000 if you capture them. There must have been a way to capture those bank robbers, I think. I have a plan, I say. We could put a sign in the bank window. I draw a sign. New shipment of money just arrived. Come and get it. The robbers will see the sign, I explain. They'll try and rob the bank again, and this time we'll be ready for them. I like your plan, said Sheriff Digby. We'll put the sign in the bank window. Sheriff Digby tells me, guard the bank doors, Deputy Dan. Keep them covered at all times. You want me to keep the bank doors covered at all times? Okay, boss. I go to my house, I gather up my bed sheets, I put them over the bank doors, covering them. Sheriff Digby sees the sheets. What are you doing, Deputy Dan, he asks. Well, you told me to cover the bank doors, boss. I think the sheets work just fine, don't you? No, said Sheriff Digby. I didn't mean cover the doors with anything. I meant to watch the doors. Oh, yes, sir, I say. I will not take my eyes off of those doors. Chapter 3. It's Wednesday, June 3rd. It's windy. I'm standing guard outside the bank. It's 2:08 p.m. I see 4 masked men enter the bank. It's 12:15 p.m. I do not see those men leave. 'Cause he's keeping an eye on the door. Just the door handle, not on inside the bank. Dan, come on, man. Suddenly, Elmer Stubbs comes running out of the bank. The bank's been robbed, he shouts. Impossible, I say. He shows me the safe and it's empty. I don't understand, I tell him. I watch the doors all the time. I didn't see anyone come out. Sheriff Digby arrives. What happened? He asked. The bank's been robbed again, said groans Elmer Stubbs. Deputy Dan, did you watch the bank doors? Sheriff Digby asks me. Of course, I say. Then how did the robbers get away? I don't know, boss. Elmer Stubbs speaks up. Maybe the robbers went through the windows. Sheriff Digby looks at me. Didn't you watch the windows, he said to me. Well, no, boss, you told me to watch the doors, so that's what I did. Sheriff Digby throws his hat to the ground. He jumps on his hat again and again. Finally, he stops. Deputy Dan, he said, there is no time to lose. Pick up your horse, then come back here. You want me to pick up my horse? No problem, boss. So I did it, no problem. I thought it was gonna be easy. Did I say no problem? I was wrong. I tried to pick up my horse. I try and I try. I can't do it. My horse just weighs too much. Oh, Dan. I get an idea. I borrow a crane. Now it's easy to pick up my horse. Sheriff Digby sees my horse hanging from the crane. Oh, for goodness sakes, he said, why is your horse hanging from a crane? You told me to bring my horse, to pick up my horse, but he was too heavy, so I used a crane. No, 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 shouts Sheriff Digby. When I told you to pick up your horse, I meant you should get your horse. I didn't mean you should lift your horse into the air. I lowered my horse to the ground. Now ride to the hill, said Sheriff Digby, and step on it. You want me to ride to the hill? You want me to step on it? Right away, boss. I ride to the hill, I get off my horse, I step on that hill. I step so hard I raise clouds of dust. I hear men grumbling. Stop that stepping at once. The dust is getting into our lunch. I stopped. I wonder who those men are. I think Dan's gonna get in trouble. The dust settles. I see 4 men. Oh. They're having lunch. They're eating scrambled eggs. The men are dirty. They need baths. My mind clicks. I say, I know who you are. You're the men who robbed the bank. Say, are you looking for trouble, they ask. Trouble's my business, I answer. These men are big. These men are mean. There are 4 of them. There's only 1 of me. But I'm not afraid. I flash my badge. I'm the new deputy sheriff of Gulch City, I tell them. Disappear, they growl. I will try, I say. I close my eyes. Shazam, I say. I did not disappear. Hocus pocus, I say. I did not disappear. Poof, I say. I did not disappear. Oh, sorry, I say. I guess I can't make myself disappear. I'll have to arrest you after all. You are arresting the wrong men. No, I'm not. You're the Scrambled Eggs gang. The men turn purple and pale. How'd you know? That is my secret. I stare at the men, and I stare at them long and hard. Soon they begin to shake with fright. Finally, they say, all right, you win. They tell me everything. They show me where they hid the stolen money. The Scrambled Eggs gang goes to jail. Way to go, Dan. This is why he's my best friend. Chapter 4. It's Thursday, June 4th. It's hot. I'm in the sheriff's office. Elmer Stubbs walks in. He shakes my hand. "Thank you," he says. "You captured those dirty crooks." "They're not dirty crooks anymore," I tell them. "Well, how come?" "I made them all take baths." Elmer Stubbs asks, "Deputy Dan, how did you know those men were the bank robbers?" "Easy," I say. "The men who robbed the bank were dirty, so were the men I captured." Elmer Stubbs shakes his head. "Just because a person's dirty doesn't make him a bank robber." Well, I hope that's true, because I'm looking a little worse for wear, and I'm not a robber, I'm a sheriff, and I just was on a horse ride, that's why. "True," I reply, "but there is more to the puzzle." See, Dan is smart. I show Elmer Stubbs a piece of paper. "Remember this?" I ask. "Give us all your money or else," signed SGEG. Elmer Stubbs says, "It's the note the robbers handed me, but I still don't know what SGEG means." I say, "Look again." He studies that note. "These letters are all scrambled," he said. "They spell eggs." "So?" "Now I understand," Elmer Stubbs cries. "Scrambled eggs! This must be the sign of the Scrambled Eggs Gang." Elmer Stubbs writes a check. "Here is the $1,000 reward, Deputy Dan. Take it, it's yours." "Sorry," I tell him. "I can't take money for doing my job." Elmer Stubbs says, "We can use the reward money any way you'd like." I think for a moment. It would sure be nice to use the money to bring a free circus to Gulch City. "A free circus is a wonderful idea," said Sheriff Digby. Elmer Stubbs smiles. "I love the circus. I might even run away with it when it gets here." "Better not," I warn. "Why not?" he asks. "Because I would make you bring it right back." I'll show you a couple pictures from this. And he's getting his check. Everyone laughs. Gulch City's peaceful again, and that's the way I, Deputy Dan, like it. The end. That's the end of Deputy Dan. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Now I think I might do something. Maybe I should have a bit of a bath because I'm a little dirty from my horse ride with Nelson. And maybe I'll go feed Nelson a carrot or something. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you next time. See you later, and remember, Super Awesome Sam. Pass it around. Have a great day.